Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Tamara AbuShullaih and I'm going to be talking about the novel The Darkest Minds. The novel The Darkest Minds is a dystopian story written by Alexandria Bracken about kids that all start to develop a disease called IAAN. Many die of the disease, however the ones who live come out with powers that are arranged by colors. The oranges can control minds, the yellows have electrokinesis powers, the reds have pyrokinesis powers, and the greens have intelligence. Meanwhile, the blues have telekinesis powers. The oranges are considered the most dangerous, and the greens are considered the most harmless. Ruby, the main character in the story, is classified as an orange at 10 years old. The government and the adults in the story are frightened of her and the other kids, which causes them to send them to camps where they say they are rehabilitating them when really they are killing or torturing them. After 6 years of being in the camp, a society called the League manages to break Ruby out of it, but once she realizes that they're a group that weaponizes people like her, she escapes them and meets Liam, Sazum, and Charles, who are other kids like her that have also broken out of the camps. Soon enough, they become friends, and together they fight for their rights to live ordinary lives and head back to their families, no matter the people that get in their way and try to strip them of those rights. Through the book The Darkest Minds, Alexandria Bracken conveys that a lot of the time fear can trump love, but if it's strong enough, love can cause selflessness. In today's society, other countries start war on others when they are afraid that they have more power, just like it had been in the novel, when the government fears that the kids with IAAN might be able to overpower them. The fear and worry grows so strong that they begin to treat them like they're animals rather than humans. This is revealed on page 367, where we find out that the government is killing all the oranges and training themselves a special army using all of the reds they took from the camps. The reds have fire powers and are practically being used as flamethrowers on leashes by the government. This part of the story truly shows how mistreated the kids can be in such an animalistic way. It's as if they completely forgot that they are children. Another instance in the novel where it shows how fear can take over someone's mindset is when Zoo's parents turn her into the camps. They completely abandon her without a thought. Their fear of her is able to take over their love for her. What one realizes through these examples is that all the fear could have been avoided if the adults had just established trust with their children. The author Alexandria Bracken proves that once trust is established between people, their love for each other can grow. When this love is strong enough, it makes them do anything to protect each other. In other words, it can cause them to be selfless. She portrays this through different characters like Sam. Sam is a character that was with Ruby in her camp. Sam was one of Ruby's best friends, and she would always have her back. An example of her love for Ruby causing selflessness is on page 30. There had been a head of the camp yelling at Ruby for doing her job wrong when a wave of furious red made its way up from Sam's throat to her face. She couldn't watch her friend go through all that pain and ended up taking the blame for Ruby doing her job wrong. The consequences that Sam had faced because of taking the blame was sitting outside in the winter night for 3 days in a row with no blanket or food, tied to a tree. This shows how real love makes people do anything for each other, no matter how unbearable. This is also shown mainly through Ruby's character. The more Ruby gets to know Liam, she grows more fond of him and makes more and more sacrifices to protect him. This is especially shown during the end of the story. Ruby and Liam are recaptured by the League, the society that weaponizes people like them. And even though she doesn't want to, she makes an offer with them where she will abide by their rules, as quoted on page 478. When she says, "I'll stay, and I won't fight you or manipulate you, but if you want me to do as you say, if you want me to use my abilities or do testing on me, I have one condition. You have to let Lee go." Lee referring to Liam. She knows Liam hates the League, and she would rather have herself suffer than watch them both suffer, even though it meant never seeing him again. To conclude, fear can sometimes trump love, but when love is strong enough, people do anything for each other and nothing can break that kind of bond. The novel's name actually means that the darkest minds tend to hide behind the most unlikely faces. In this case, it is all the adults and the government, because they made themselves seem like they were helping the kids and somewhat cared, when really deep down, all the actions they were attempting were wrong and based on fear. All they needed was a little bit of trust. Alexandria Bracken, the author, shows us this and warns that with letting fear trump love, we won't get anywhere. Thank you.